At approximately 1:42 this morning, Ware police officers responded to 236 Buckley Road in Ware for a report of an ongoing domestic violence incident. Once inside the residence, the officers encountered an adult male identified as Jeffrey Clough Garvin, spelling Clough-Garvin, Garvin. His age, 43. During the encounter, Mr. Clough Garvin fired a gun at the responding Ware police officers. Ware police officer William Lewis, age 27, was struck by gunfire and sustained a non-life-threatening injury to his arm. The report of shots fired came in at 1:48 this morning, and a report that an officer had been shot came in at 1:49 this morning. Chief Moore will give an update on Officer Lewis's status. The officers withdrew from the residence while Mr. Clough Garvin remained inside the residence. He was alone. At least one of the Ware police officers fired his weapon. New Hampshire State Police and its SWAT unit responded to the scene. Colonel Wagner will describe State Police's efforts to secure that scene. Mr. Clough Garvin was found deceased in the residence at approximately 8:30 a.m. this morning. We anticipate that an autopsy will be conducted by the New Hampshire Office of Chief Medical Examiner tomorrow, Friday, August 2nd. Pursuant to protocol, the name of the second Ware police officer is being withheld pending investigation and the officer's interview. That interview is expected to take place as soon as possible. Ware police officers wear body cameras. It appears at this time that the cameras were operational and the images of this event were captured. Other than Officer Lewis and Mr. Clough Garvin, no other individuals were physically injured during this incident. This is an ongoing investigation being led by my office and Senior Assistant Attorney General Hinckley, with the assistance of the Major Crime Unit of New Hampshire State Police. Anyone with information regarding the incident or anyone who had contact with Mr. Clough Garvin before August 1st, 2019, should be in touch with Sergeant Kelly Healy of the Major Crime Unit, 603-628-8477. We will be putting out a written press release after this event. We do not anticipate any further briefings on this incident until after the autopsy is conducted, and as I said, we expect that to happen tomorrow. Now I'll turn it over to Colonel Wagner.
Thank you, Attorney General. Good afternoon, everyone. As the General said, my name is Chris Wagner. I am the Colonel with the New Hampshire State Police. I'll run through a very brief timeline and talk about some of the deployment resources we had for this operation. As it has been stated, around 1:40 this morning, State Police uniformed troopers from Troop B were responding to assist the Ware Police Department with the reported domestic disturbance. Prior to their arrival, they received updates via the radio that indicated there was an officer was shot during this incident and that the alleged suspect was barricaded inside of a residence. At approximately 2:30 this morning, we deployed a lot more resources to the scene to include our SWAT team. Part of the SWAT team response, we deploy the helicopter, as well as our explosive ordnance disposal team, which is the EOD team. They come with certain technology that enables us to mitigate situations safely. Over many hours, we set the perimeter up. We attempted to contact Mr. Clough Garvin, but those negotiations were unsuccessful. At about 8:30 this morning, the SWAT team made entry into the home and did find Mr. Clough Garvin deceased in the residence. I want to thank Chief Christopher Moore from the Ware Police Department. He displayed very strong leadership, and his partnership was very much appreciated with my agency. This has been a very seamless effort with the Ware Department as well as the State Police, and there were many, many other agencies from surrounding communities and law enforcement, fire and EMS that really were brought to bear this morning to really end this situation as safely as possible. We appreciate their efforts. It's a very difficult scene, and they acted certainly with the most steadfast discipline and professionalism. There was a loss of life here this morning, and that is Mr. Clo Garvin. We are certainly sympathetic to that. We are appreciative of that, and we do provide his family our deepest condolences and sympathies. I'm also very thankful, of course, for Officer Lewis's condition. We wish him speedy recovery, and we wish his family well throughout this event. His display of courage, quite honestly, is commendable in his actions here today. Lastly, we want to thank the New Hampshire Attorney General's Office, the Major Crime Unit for my department. Their work has just begun. It'll be a very long day for them, and I want to thank them for their continued work as they work through this investigation. At this time, I'll invite the Chief to the podium.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Chief Moore of the Ware Police Department. Ware Police Officer William Paul Lewis, we've referred to him as Paul. He's 27 years old. He was shot earlier today, as has been mentioned, when he responded to a 911 call for assistance at Buckley Road. Officer Lewis was transported to Concord Hospital. He's met with the surgeons. He will be undergoing surgery this afternoon, and he'll be treated for his injuries. He's been a member of the Ware Police Department for approximately a year. He was hired in July of last year. This is the second officer who responded to the scene. He is currently on leave at his request. I'd like to thank the agencies who promptly responded and assisted us this morning. The response was phenomenal. It was an excellent team effort. The New Hampshire State Police Major Crime Unit, New Boston Police Department, which was one of the first units on scene, Hillsborough Police Department, Goffstown Police Department. A special thanks to Chief Brown, who notified me of the incident, and he really got things rolling. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Antrim Police Department, and the Henniker Police Department, who was also one of the first units on scene. Thank you very much.
Chief, can you talk a little bit about Officer Lewis' current condition, state of mind?
Very good spirits. He's in very good spirits. His mother is with him at the hospital. Concord Police Department responded to Massachusetts to pick her up, transport her back to the hospital so he could have a family member with him, as well as we have an officer from the Ware Police Department on scene with him. Of course, he's under medication, so sleeping a lot prior to surgery, but when he is awake and he's communicating, he's very good spirits, and he's doing well. Thank you for the concern.
Mr. Attorney General, can you just clarify the statement regarding, he was found dead in his home? Was he shot by a police officer? Did he take his own life? Or was that unknown at this point in time? I didn't quite understand what you said.
It's the subject of our investigation.
Was there an exchange of gunfire between, I know you mentioned the one officer fired, but was there a subsequent exchange?
There was an exchange of gunfire.
Was the suspect's family inside the house when this all started? How did they get out?
There was no one other than Mr. Clo Garvin in the house at the time that the exchange of gunfire occurred.
So even though they were called there for this domestic dispute, when they got there, he was by himself?
Correct. No. When the exchange of gunfire occurred, he was by himself.
Was he the one who made the call, or did someone else make the call?
Was who?
The 911 call? Who made the call?
He did not make the call.
And when you got there, was he alone? Or when the police got there, was he alone?
No, there was another individual. That individual was removed from the house and not in the house at the time the gunfire occurred.
Removed by police?
A female individual, adult, was in the house. She exited the house before the gunfire incident occurred.
with the help of police or on her own before they got there?
When the police officers arrived, she was escorted or taken out of the house.
And were there any children there?
No.
Chief Moore, I know that you are new to the town of Ware. Can you tell me what it was going through your mind when you heard that one of your officers was declared in duty?
Obviously concern for my officer, that's always our priority, but also concern for the victim. You know, the last time we wanted someone to get injured in any type of incident. And when I say victim, the deceased individual. Although the incident was created as a result of his actions, he's still a victim of this incident. We don't know his mental state. We just have to respond accordingly to the best of our ability and take the appropriate action.
Was a
And when you
weapon
say-
recovered?
Sorry,
Again, this investigation is ongoing and active, and so we're limited in the information we can share. At the end of this investigation, we'll publish a detailed report that has all our findings as well as the Attorney General's conclusions.
How many
Chief, I think that's
gunshot
all the
wounds?
questions we'll take for today. Thank you.
Chief, can you just talk just for a moment about how thankful you are that you're standing up here saying that your officer is in good spirits after an exchange like this, after a morning like this?
Sure, I don't mind touching on that. Obviously, that's the top priority, to make sure all my guys go home at night. You know, this is a dangerous profession we're in. We do it willingly. He's a new officer, and I couldn't be more prouder of his reaction and the reaction of the other officer who's on leave. I couldn't have asked for any better response out of anybody. The community should be proud of that. We're proud of that, and the state should be proud of that. They represented themselves and the department well today. I'm glad to tell you that.
when you say
Thank
victim,
you.
are you referring to the deceased individual?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Do we anticipate
Thank-
the body cam video being released?
Typically, yes. As part of our comprehensive investigation, we will release the evidence pertaining to this incident, and we do release the video, whatever video is captured, yes.
Can you just confirm whether there were multiple gunshot wounds or just one?
Okay, thank you very
How
much.
soon